Yo,
Yo,
what's up,
yo,
my guy?
what's up, bro? You ready to do
What's
this?
I'm ready, man. It's Super
Back in
Bowl,
the
man.
building, talking about the
Yo,
Super Bowl, this incredible matchup we just had.
man,
All right,
it
let's
was
do it,
it
man.
was a hell of a matchup.
It was a hell of a matchup. Hey, if
It
this is your
was.
first time, my name's Corey Hilliard. The man next to me, Brandon Hill. We at a house divided. If you've been here before, you know what to do. Stay tuned. We about to go over this big Super Bowl 57 match. It was an instant classic. So without further ado, my boy B Hill, talk to him.
You guys already know what the rules are here at the House Divided. If you're not already, drop down there. Please join our House Divided family. We hit 60 subscribers. We got to keep this thing growing. We're going for 100. I'm telling y'all, we're going to make it with all y'all's help. Another thing as well, if you guys like what you see, you like what you're hearing, there's that thumbs up button down here right underneath our screen. Just go ahead and tap that for us. That helps with the algorithm, everything else, where we can be out there on more platforms so more people can view our content. Also, too, don't forget to smash that notification bell so you guys can be up to date on all our newest and latest content. Basketball season, we about to get real heavy and real deep into that. This is our last NFL video of the year as of right now for this season. Also, last but not least, drop down there in those comments. We want to hear from you guys, the House Divided family. We want to know what y'all think. Good, bad, right, wrong, and different. We don't care one way or another. So, as always, Corey, this Super Bowl, man, it was good. It was very good. It was clearly the best two teams in it. I don't think there's any argument or any discussion that can be made on that. I mean, you had Patrick Mahomes was out there basically on one leg doing everything he had to do to help his team win. But on the other side of it, Corey, I would argue that Jalen Hurts was the best player on that football field, and it wasn't even close in this Super Bowl. The way
Yeah.
minus that one fumble that he had. It was that one
Yeah.
fumble to where ultimately, with it being a 3-point loss, that cost him the game. You know what I mean? Those are the type of mistakes that you cannot make. And when you look on the other side, the Chiefs didn't make any mistakes. Andy Reid, his game plan, Pacheco just did his thing. A 7th round draft pick, by the way. Just saying. Running backs, dime a dozen. I mean, it was a great game. I'll let you kind of jump into it, and then I got a little bit more thoughts on it. What you think, Corey?
Man, look. Jalen Hurts, I totally agree. He was an X factor, man. I mean, to watch him throw the ball, bro, from where he came from in Alabama, how he threw it in Oklahoma, even how he played last year throwing the ball. This dude sat in the pockets and was throwing absolute darts, bro. Touch passes, double coverage, putting it in the right spot where only the receiver can get it. I was like, who is this Jalen Hurts? It's just his maturation as a player, though. You see all of that hard work pay off. I thought he was absolutely the best player on the field during the Super Bowl. Now, with that being said, on the other side of it, though, Patrick Mahomes. And to me, the stats weren't all that great. He only had 182 yards passing, right?
Right.
He did have the 3 touchdowns, but those are more scheme plays rather than him having to do something spectacular, right? Get on the run, throw a dot, you know what I mean? But they did what they needed to do, B. They made the big special team play with Tony. I thought that was a huge play. Obviously, the fumble by Hurts that turned the game because at that point it was 14-7. Philly has the ball and the lead, and they're driving. I think they had to be. I think they were over the 50-yard line. I think they were in Kansas City territory when all that went down. And man, you want to talk about changing the game because had that not happened, had he just went down and not fumbled the ball, the chances of them, at least coming away with 3 and going up 17-7, right, and really putting the clamps on them early, to me that was huge. Now, after that happened, what happened? They came right back down, scored, went up 21-14, got the field goal before half. So they were still up 10 at halftime. And at that point, I don't know what you were thinking at halftime. I'm thinking the Eagles pretty much got this thing wrapped up because of the time of possession. I don't know if you noticed, the time of possession was huge. They were running every play down to the 5-second mark on the play clock. And then they just kept the offense off the field, and they couldn't do that second half. Kansas City defense showed up in the second half. They put the clamps down on the run game, shut that down. And then once that happened, you saw Kansas City really, really start to figure him out on offense, man. But it was a great game, bro. It was a really good game.
It really was. I mean, shout out to Patrick Mahomes, though, coming out there in that second half with the bum ankle. Them guys scored on every single drive in the second half. They literally – and –
they had to.
Now here's one thing I do want to allude to, Corey. I absolutely – that play, the last play, the one where there was that hold on James Bradbury, was it a hold? Yes. He held the guy. He turned him a little bit. But I just don't think that it was enough. To me, that hold stole the game from all of us just as fans of football in general.
Bro.
I wanted to see so bad. Okay, you guys go ahead, because that was 3rd and 8 at that point, and he overthrew that ball by a good 5 to 10 yards at least. I mean, it was in the back of the end zone before it hit the ground. I think hold or no hold, I don't think Juju Smith was getting to that damn ball anyways. No. So, to me, if I'm a referee in that game, I'm not throwing that flag right there. I'm just not. No. I mean, because ultimately what you did. Now, granted, I allude to it again, Corey. Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, every drive they scored in the second half. Travis Kelce was a matchup nightmare. The Eagles had 0 answers for Travis Kelce. I mean, their defensive line, 0 sacks, my friend. So that offensive line over there, shout out to Orlando Brown, shout out to Creed Humphrey, my Sooner boys over there. They held it down in those trenches. Joe Thuney, all of them.
Andrew Wiley, yeah, all of them.
They were just, I mean, that's what ultimately won them the game, because they gave Patrick Mahomes time on that bum. But then Patrick Mahomes makes a run for like 20, 30 yards. You know what I'm saying? It's like, is this guy hurt? Is he really hurt?
Ankle didn't look hurt at all, bro.
It didn't look hurt.
Did not look hurt. No, not scooting.
But, I mean, that was really, that's the only thing. Other than that, this was an awesome game. Great game as a fan to watch. I loved it. I wanted to see Jalen Hurts and the Eagles get one more opportunity. I just wanted to see it one more time to see if they could go down there and they could drive. Now, at the end of the day, don't leave the game in the hands of the refs. You got to win the game and control the game yourself. So, props to the Chiefs for winning their Super Bowl. I mean, is this the start of a mini dynasty here, Corey? I mean, this is 2 out of 4. Or
I think
2 out of 3. 2 out of 3.
Yeah, but it's 4 years. It's a 4-year span. Look, to me, a dynasty always starts with 3. You got to have done it 3 times in a short period. So if they win it next year, that's 3 out of 5 years that they've won it. That would be a dynasty.
Which they could. They ultimately could. I mean,
no, they're the favorite right now in all the sports books.
As they should be
next year.
As they should be.
I don't even think they were that dominant this year. I don't think they were that dominant, if that makes sense. I mean, just stay with me here. For the longest time, the Bills had the 1 seed. They were hovering, the Chiefs are hovering around 2 or 3. The biggest thing, just watching them all year, the Texans, this is during the regular seasons, Texans took them to the wire. Denver Broncos, who we all know sucked this year. Right? Yeah. We all saw it. Denver had their 2 best offensive games of the year against the Chiefs. The list, they lost to the Colts for God's sake. Like this is the same team, right? The same team that, against Cincinnati in the AFC Championship, it was 20-20 and Joe Burrow had the ball with 2 minutes left. So Cincinnati could have easily won that game. I just don't think they were that elite and they still won the Super Bowl. Like, not, you know what I mean? For a down team, for a down year. Yeah. They were the best team.
I don't disagree with you fully there. I mean, that's a pretty good take, but they still had that man Patrick Mahomes back there. And when you're beating a team like Philadelphia with Patrick Mahomes only throwing for 182 yards, yeah. I mean, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Pacheco, it just, him being a 7th round draft pick just proves my point even more that running backs are a dime a dozen anymore. I mean, you can find those guys. You just got to get a guy that's ready to run hard. Like that guy, every time he touches the ball, that Joker runs hard every time. So
no messing around. It's one cut and go.
And he gone. So, I mean, I'm kind of with you there, but I mean, in all the areas that they needed to be dominant, they were dominant in. Their offensive line all year long was dominant, probably one of the top offensive lines. I mean, on the other side, you had the Eagles' offensive line. They got all the talk, all the praise, everything else. And what happened? The Chiefs come up in there and just it was kind of like one of those things you just let the little sleeping dog lie over there. Just leave him sitting over there sleeping. Don't wake him up, because if you wake him up, you're going to wake up a monster. And that's what happened. I mean, the Chiefs, they clicked. I mean, they went 14-3 in the regular season. So I get it to a point. It's not as dominant of a Chiefs team as what we've seen in years past with like Tyreek Hill, things like that. They were more of Patrick Mahomes turned into more of like a game manager type quarterback. He wasn't really, he made some plays here and there, but he wasn't putting up 300-400 yards like he had been that you're used to. But, I mean, Kadarius Toney, if you're the New York Giants, that's just unacceptable.
What the hell were they doing, bro?
What were you just let that dude just walk?
Nothing for him to do? You couldn't find anything for him to do in the offense?
Andy Reid did. Andy Reid found out. Shoot. I mean, and Bellamy, if Bellamy doesn't get a head coaching job, man, that Joker deserves a head coaching job. I mean, because if it wasn't for him, would Patrick Mahomes be the Patrick Mahomes that he is right now? Because he's the offensive mastermind over there, and we always say it's about fit. Because if anybody tells me when Patrick Mahomes was at Texas Tech, they seen this coming, you're a lie. You're lying. You're not telling me the truth. I didn't see it. I mean, hell, he went 6-6, 7-5. You know what I'm saying? At Texas Tech, wasn't doing that. He was always a good offensive quarterback. You always had to worry about him throwing and running, but MVP, Super Bowl, like, nah, man.
I didn't see it coming.
No. I mean, the Sooners used to dust him, man. You know what I'm saying? So, but that just goes. I mean, you go back to that game, Texas Tech OU, that big shootout that they had.
The highest scoring game ever, right? It was like 65, 63 to 50 something.
And Baker wins the Heisman, everything else, and then now look what happened. Patrick Mahomes was just kind of lying underneath there. I don't know, man. It was.
It's the same for Jalen Hurts with me, because Jalen Hurts, what he did and where he came from, right? The doubters getting benched in the national championship game for Tua, having to go to OU, take them to the college football playoff. Like, everything he's done has been one up, and every time somebody's doubted them, he went somewhere and proved them. And
well, they had
same thing with the Eagles.
They had a perfect squad around him, though. I mean, if you think about it, the Eagles squad around Jalen Hurts, like the players, the receivers, running backs, your offensive line, great tight end, he had it all. I mean, and if you look over on the other side, that's what we used to say about the Chiefs. But it's Travis Kelce as the receiver, and there's everybody else. You know what I'm saying? It's the greatness of – that's kind of showing me and showing all those doubters out there, if there is any, that Patrick Mahomes is a good quarterback. Because if you can make these guys like Juju Smith-Schuster, I'm not a hater or anything, but what was Juju doing in Pittsburgh ever since Antonio Brown left? Nothing.
He had that one good year, and that was it.
You see what I'm saying? And the one good year that he had was because he was the second option, and Antonio Brown was getting double teamed almost every play. So I look at all those kind of things, and I mean, you had Isaiah Pacheco as your running back. Miles Sanders for the Philadelphia Eagles. Come on, where were you at? Kenneth Gainwell. They shut them down. You know what I'm saying? So it was just the fumbles. I don't know. You can't turn the ball over like that in the NFL, especially in the Super Bowl, and expect to win. Yeah. It was a 3-point loss, Corey. That fumble goes the other way.
That was the only turnover of the game, too. Like, it was a pretty clean game turnover.
It was. It was.
That was the only turnover.
You play these two teams 10 times, it's 5-5. I believe that. I really do. I think these two teams were very evenly matched in the way that the game was played. I mean, going into next season,
City got the ball last, man.
They
just had the ball last. Now, what are you going to say about next season?
Who you got, man? Who's your favorite going into next year? I know everybody's favorite's probably going to be the Kansas City Chiefs. Who you got? Who you looking at as like a team? We'll start with who's your favorite, and then I want to hear a team that didn't make the playoffs that you could see making the playoffs next year. Two things there. What do you got?
All right. Team that I see as a favorite right now, I'm gonna go with Cincinnati.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with Cincinnati. I think they're most equipped with Philly to beat the Chiefs. Now here's my team that playoffs. I'm wearing the hoodie, brother.
Okay.
The Lions.
I like that.
One Seahawk loss away.
I like that.
Freaking Baker Mayfield don't turn the ball over in overtime.
I like it.
We're in the playoffs. So who you got?
No, I like it. I like it. My team, my favorite next season. It's hard. That's a hard one. It's really hard. Because I've got a few teams that's on my mind, and you can't go based off of this year. I like the San Francisco 49ers next year, man. I just do. I think that they're one of those teams that's on the cusp. They didn't lose a Brock Purdy in that game against Philadelphia. I'm not saying they probably would have won, but it wouldn't have been no 31-7. Wouldn't have been 31-7 out here. It wouldn't have been a blowout. So I like the 49ers. And then the team that I could see making the playoffs that didn't make the playoffs this year, man, oh man. I'd have to say the Lions too, man. I would have to, just because when you look at it though, you got the Minnesota Vikings over there, and then there's the Green Bay Packers. We don't know what's going to happen with the Green Bay Packers next season. Is Aaron Rodgers, is he going to be back? So that could be one of those opportunities where that team slides down. You finish like first or second in the division. I mean, you guys are going to be a problem. There's no doubt about it. And I could see y'all. I mean, we got an NFL draft coming up. I could see you guys going and getting another corner to put alongside Jeff Okudah back there. Something like that maybe. Or another defensive end to rush on the other side from Aiden Hutchinson. That dude, Aiden Hutchinson out of Michigan, he got really, he was getting there. So I like y'all as like the team to make the playoffs next season. And then I like the 49ers. That's my early pick for the Super Bowl next year. Assuming, because if you look at it, I'm pretty sure they got almost everybody coming back. Maybe here and there, but I know they got Debo. I know they got Ayuk. I know Purdy's going to be back there. I know they got Christian McCaffrey. You still got Kittle. I mean, them boys are real. They just really are, and I think it's going to be them. So
yeah. Here's another sneaky team, the New York Jets. I mean, they had the defensive rookie player of the year, Sauce Gardner. They had the offensive rookie player of the year in Garrett Wilson. They got a championship-made defense already.
The
Their quarterback
Jaguars
situation, Jags made it. They already
Jaguars too, though, as a team that could possibly be one of those teams to take that next step.
Oh, sneaky! Oh,
yeah. Like they made it to the divisional round. They're hungry. Trevor Lawrence, very talented quarterback, got that taste of some playoff football in his mouth. You know what I'm saying? So, and you got Doug Peterson over there. It's just another year of all of those guys being together. So we'll see.
Here's one more for you: Denver Broncos, Sean Payton. They got a championship defense already. That was a top 5, top 6 defense. Sean Payton, man, if he can turn that offense around.
I'm just not sold on Russell Wilson anymore, man. I'm just not. I mean, I'm just not. That's the one thing. I agree with you on the defense over there. That defense is ready. I agree with you with Sean Payton. Is Russell Wilson going to start? I mean, there could be some controversy brewing over there. I mean, all them coaches that they were talking about he had, they ain't there no more. It's Sean Payton. It's Sean, and I love how Sean Payton was like, that's news to me. Like, that's not going to be happening here. Shoot. Like, Nah, I'm the coach of this team. I'm the coach of Russell Wilson. Y'all's little parking spots you got out there, we're taking them signs out. You got to go somewhere else with it. I mean,
yep.
The only thing that Russell Wilson has going good for him right now is Sierra. Other than that, you're trash on the football field. He was trash. Let's just call it what it is.
He was hot garbage. Bro.
He was trash. I mean, for what? For what they gave up for him to play like that? Bro. I mean, dude, Geno Smith outplayed him this year. Your replacement in Seattle. And Seattle scooped up some first-round picks. And, like I said, props all day. Yeah. So, I don't know. I like that, though. But also, too, just to touch on this, I do want to give my boy Justin Jefferson some love. Offensive player of the year, as he should have been. And then you had, on the other side, you had Nick Bosa as the defensive player of the year from the 49ers. Well-deserved as far as that goes. What else you got for us, Corey? What else we want to talk about on this?
Nah, that's it. That's pretty much it, man. I mean, we can do. We already did early favorites for next year. We did some playoff teams that we think can make it.
Who's a team? So if we've got those teams, this is my last thing. If we've got,
I'm listening.
The Detroit Lions going in the NFC. Who's not going to make the playoffs next year that made the playoffs this year?
Who's coming out? Ooh. Well, definitely the Bucks. That's the easy one, though, because they're losing Tom Brady. So they're going to be out.
Okay.
I think the Giants might take a step back.
See, I see that differently. I see the Giants kind of taking another step forward.
Who you got coming out?
With Brian Daboll. I mean, it's got to be the Bucks. You'd have to say I'm agreeing with you on that one as far as the Bucks, but the Bucks could go out there and get a Jimmy Garoppolo or something like that and keep the train rolling. You know what I'm saying?
Gotta find I don't know.
Hey,
what's their plan? They might be in the house for. Now I haven't heard with Derek Carr. My Saints are supposed to be getting Derek Carr. Jets, Saints, Panthers are like the three in the leader for that. But the Panthers could be another team that could hop in there. If they get Derek Carr, they almost won that sorry-ass division, the NFC South.
Yeah.
So if they get whoever gets Derek Carr out of that division has the upper hand. And somebody's got to win that division. You know what I mean?
They do. They do. And I mean, it's still really early. I mean, let's get past the offseason. You know what I'm saying? Whenever all the free agents, everything else, and the teams start getting solidified to what they're going to be, then it'll be really interesting. I mean, I could possibly sit here and say my Vikings might not make the playoffs next year. I'm just being real because exactly. So we're gonna get younger. I could see them getting younger.
But you got D-Flow as a coordinator. That's gonna help so much.
Oh, we're gonna get some
defense so much.
We're gonna get some players that want to come play for him for sure.
Yep.
Because the only thing that I've been hearing, I mean, bring back Harrison Smith. I think he's coming back. I think he's going to take a pay cut. Dalvin Cook said he's not interested in taking no pay cut. So, and he just had soldier surgery on his labrum that he tore. So, a 28-year-old running back with a $12 million cap hit, you have a nice day.
What's the cap hit if y'all release him?
We save like $7 or $8 million towards the cap if we release him.
Shoot, there you go.
You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's just another one of those classic NFL contracts where they had that sucker front loaded and they'll give you a little signing bonus and everything else to pay you your money. And then Adam Thielen said he wasn't interested in taking no kind of pay cut, which kind of surprised me. That really, because I don't think he's valuable anywhere else other than the Vikings. I just really don't.
I think he looked really good in a Saints jersey for sure.
Well, I mean, I love it.
He might look good in the Lions uniform too. We might go ahead and scoop him up.
And I'm cool with that because I'd love to see what KJ Osborne's got as the number 2 receiver. I think KJ Osborne for us as the 3rd receiver this year, I think he honestly looked better than Thielen. Thielen's lost a step. He just has.
Oh yeah, he's
in my opinion.
Yeah.
So
he'd be a nice number 3 for like an up and coming team like the Saints or somebody.
I could see that. I could see that.
You know what
I mean, I don't want to see that. I'm a big Adam Thielen fan. I want to see him back in Minnesota. But if Thielen walks and we've got somebody like KJ Osborne, then you go grab a receiver in the draft or something, we still got Justin Jefferson over there. Yeah. So really,
y'all clearly know how to draft receivers. So going to find another one shouldn't be a problem.
I'm not too worried about it. It's not really got me
concerned.
Y'all
drafted Stephon Diggs. Did y'all draft? Y'all signed?
We got
free agent.
If he walked on to the team, my guy. He walked on as an undrafted free agent.
There you go. So y'all got an eye for talent as far as receiver go.
And Diggs was a 6th round draft pick.
Come on.
And KJ Osborne was like another 5th or 6th round draft pick, if I'm not mistaken.
There you go. So
Justin
y'all know
Jefferson,
how to evaluate receivers. You know,
absolutely.
What I mean?
And I mean, the Eagles, they helped us out too with drafting Jalen Rieger, so that helped. My goodness.
Yeah, you got to get lucky sometimes too.
Hey, but they got 2 Super Bowls. They got 2 Super Bowls though, and we only got 0. So they got 1 Super Bowl. My bad. I'm acting like they won this game. But they got a Super Bowl, and we don't. So at the end of the day, but. Other than that, man, you got anything else you want to touch on this thing before we hop up off of here?
Nah, man, that's pretty much it. That was a good little recap of the Super Bowl.
You already know.
Free agency and draft, here we come. It's gonna be a long time. I'm glad. I hope everybody enjoyed us covering the football season for sure.
Absolutely.
Like I said, this is just the start of the 2023 season because we're gonna talk draft, free agency leading up, who the Vikings, who the Lions might possibly target. Who should we sign in free agent? We need to do a free agency show.
I'm down. And we also need to do a recruiting show, too. Yeah. For off-season college football.
I've been on 247, so I'm learning some things. I'm
2024 recruiting is heating up, my guy. It's heating up. Yep. So, as far as my Sooners go, we'll see. I'm not upset with what's going on, though. I'm ready for college football. Football's over. This is kind of like that period to where I'm going to move into basketball season real heavy. Even though my Lakers suck, Duke sucks. Like, it's just basketball is just terrible.
Sucks. Yeah,
they're just trash. But it's one of those things. I love football season. I'm college football, I'm NFL, and when it's kind of over,
it's the best time of the year. Yeah.
It's kind of sad.
Once it's over, you just get down, bro.
Well, yeah, and especially after basketball ends and we just got damn baseball to watch. I'm like, dude.
Yeah, come on.
Now, however, though, I have been watching my OU girls just to kind of allude to something before we hop off of here. My OU girls, that softball, them softball girls.
But y'all won the last 3 championships in a row. Does it matter?
Two. We going for the 3-peat. No, it matters. Oh, it absolutely matters. It matters. Yes.
2022 Big 12 champions, Oklahoma State Cowgirls.
Man, that's fine. Who won the national championship, though? You guys didn't have that little Big 12 title. I could care less. we was just looking to the College World Series before that. Whenever that.
Yeah.
We wasn't.
Yeah, y'all showed up to the Big 12 tournament. So
no, y'all look nice this year too. I mean, we're ranked number 1. You're like right there at 4 or 5. So
yeah,
them OSU Cowgirls, they can play some softball too. But
but y'all, that's what we do in Oklahoma, bro. We run the softball world. Come on.
No, you do not. You do not run.